to the One Family Podcast, where we encourage and equip families for the marriage and parenting journey. Each week, we will share practical insights and real-life encouragement to help you strengthen relationships, navigate challenges with confidence, and build a home where love and connection thrive. Today's episode is a little different. We're going to travel back in time all the way to the year 1886. A woman named Jane Wells wrote a note to her daughter while helping prepare for her wedding day. In that note, she shared a few short pieces of advice about marriage. What's fascinating is that even though this was written nearly 140 years ago, the wisdom still speaks powerfully to us today. In a world that feels like it's constantly changing with technology, culture, expectations, the foundation of strong relationships hasn't changed much at all. Love still matters. Respect still matters. Friendship still matters. This is what Jane wrote. Let your love be stronger than your hate or anger. Learn the wisdom of compromise, for it's better to bend a little than to break. Believe the best rather than the worst. People have a way of living up or down to your opinion of them. Remember that true friendship is the basis for any lasting relationship. The person you choose to marry is deserving of the courtesies and kindnesses you bestow on your friends. Please hand this down to your children and your children's children. Okay, let's unpack several pieces of wisdom from that short note and talk about how they are relevant in our marriages today. The more things change, the more they seem to stay the same.
The first line of Jane Wells' note says, "Let your love be stronger than your hate or anger." Every married couple knows that conflict is inevitable. Two imperfect people with different personalities, perspectives, habits, and expectations are sharing life together. At times, there will be disagreement, frustration, and even anger. But the key question is this: which emotion is stronger, love or anger? Healthy marriages aren't those that avoid conflict. They are marriages where love is stronger than any momentary emotion. In the Symbis program that we offer, the parents mention that conflict oftentimes is the price we pay for deeper intimacy. The next thing Jane says is, learn the wisdom of compromise, for it's better to bend a little than to break. Many arguments in marriage aren't about right and wrong, they're about preferences. Where to spend the holidays, how to spend money, how to raise kids, how to organize schedules. When both spouses refuse to bend, the relationship experiences unnecessary pressure. But when one or both say, you know what, this matters more to you than it does to me, something great happens. The relationship wins. Many of us had the love verse, 1 Corinthians 13, read at our weddings, where the Apostle Paul says, love is patient, love is kind. Here's the reality. The moments when your spouse is least lovable are the moments they need patience and kindness the most. And something amazing happens when we choose love in those moments. Anger begins to diffuse, not only in their heart, but also in ours. And resentment loses its foothold, and bitterness doesn't get a chance to grow.
The next line from her note aligns with what modern psychology calls confirmation bias. Believe the best rather than the worst. People have a way of living up or down to your opinion of them. Confirmation bias means we tend to notice and remember and interpret things in ways that confirm what we already believe. So if you believe your spouse is careless, then you will notice every careless moment. And if you believe your spouse is selfish, then you'll notice every selfish act. But the opposite is also true. If you believe your spouse is thoughtful and loving and trying their best, you'll begin to see those things more often. Your thoughts are powerful, and they're shaping your attitude, they shape your reactions, they even shape your emotional chemistry. Our brains actually release stress hormones like cortisol when we dwell on negative assumptions. And the feel-good hormones like dopamine are released when we dwell on gratitude and appreciation. So, believing the best in your spouse does two things. It changes your outlook, and second, it creates an environment where your spouse is encouraged to rise to that belief. When someone feels trusted and respected and believed in, they naturally want to become the best version of themselves. So believing the best creates space for love and encouragement to grow.
Another line from Jane's note says, "Remember that true friendship is the basis for any lasting relationship." This is such an important reminder that can easily be taken for granted. Marriage is not only a romantic relationship, but it's also a deep friendship. Think about how we treat our friends. We listen to them, we laugh with them, we show kindness and courtesy. Yet sometimes the person who receives the least amount of courtesy in our lives is our spouse. She goes on and says, "The person you choose to marry is deserving of the courtesies and kindnesses that you bestow on your friends." We should actually treat our spouse better than anyone else. Healthy marriages intentionally cultivate friendship. That means having fun together, going on regular dates, laughing together, and sharing experiences. Friendship thrives when it's nurtured. It fades when it's neglected. When couples say they feel distant, often it's an issue that friendship has been replaced by logistics. Their schedules, kids, careers, responsibilities, bills, and the list goes on. But strong marriages intentionally protect the friendship part of the relationship. Remember the words from your wedding day. "I promise to love, honor, and cherish." Those are powerful words. Honor means to regard somebody with great respect, and cherish means to love and protect and care for something precious. Your spouse is meant to be treated like something precious.
Jane Wells ends her note with, "Please hand this down to your children and your children's children." In other words, this wisdom was meant to become a generational legacy. Because the truth is, marriage doesn't only affect the husband and the wife, it shapes the entire family. Children learn about marriage by watching their parents. They watch how conflict gets handled, they watch how respect is shown, and they watch how love is expressed. Whether we realize it or not, our marriages are teaching lessons every single day. They are forming our children's understanding of love, respect, forgiveness, commitment, and friendship. When a marriage is healthy, it becomes a protective layer of love and security around the home. Children grow up feeling stability, encouragement, and safety. And one day, they carry those lessons into their own marriages. That's why strong marriages create generational blessings. The wisdom we practice today can become the legacy our grandchildren will experience tomorrow.
Shelley and I always find it amazing that a short note written in 1886 can still speak to us today. It reminds us of something simple but powerful. True wisdom is timeless. Love stronger than anger. Learn the wisdom of compromise. Believe the best in one another. Protect the friendship in your marriage. And remember that your marriage shapes the generations that follow. Marriage is one of the greatest gifts that God gives us. It's a partnership where we grow, support one another, and build a life together. So take a moment this week to intentionally show patience, offer some encouragement, plan some time together, and cherish the person that God gave you. Thank you for joining us on the One Family podcast. If today's conversation encouraged you, be sure to follow us and share this episode with someone who could use the reminder that strong marriages are built on timeless wisdom. Also, feel free to reach out to us with your questions about this topic or anything else related to the marriage and parenting journey. Our hope is that we will begin sharing some of these questions anonymously as a segment in future episodes. The best way to reach us is via email at info@onefamilyhwl.org. So until next time, keep investing in what matters most, your one family.